Welcome back to another 90 Day Fiancé recap. We're on season 11, episode 16. I thought this episode was going to be the finale, but it's not. I think it's going to be next week though. I'm pretty sure it's going to be next week. So we're almost there. Let's just get right into it, starting with Joan and Greg. I have to say, Greg won me over in this episode for sure. I mean, he was starting to in the last couple of episodes. He was getting better and better. And I had the realization that, wow, I think the editors tricked us into thinking that Greg was a piece of crap, a piece of poo, a lazy piece of poo, but he's showing more and more that he really cares about Joan. He loves her, and he's a very sweet guy. Like, he's very thoughtful, he's sweet, he's loving, he's kind. And yeah, he needs to work on his work ethic. And, I think his mom definitely spoiled him, but I think he has so much potential to just be a great husband. So in this episode, Greg rented a house for a few days leading up to their wedding so that they can have some alone time, and they're going to have a party to celebrate with all of his family and friends the night before the wedding. They check into the Airbnb. She loves it. She's walking around the house and she's already imagining their future home with their kids running around. She just can't wait.
Wow, Greg will kill this one.
Greg secretly bought traditional Nigerian outfits for him and her so that they can wear it together at their party tonight. And he also got catering. He catered African food.
He really surprised me.
I thought that was so thoughtful. He definitely wanted her to feel special and for her to feel like she has a part of her home with her and her culture. And that was so sweet. I was so impressed. A few hours later, people start to arrive at the house, and then the food arrives, and the food looked so delicious. I wanted to try every single one of them. I don't know what it's called, so if anyone watching knows what all that food is called, like each of the dishes, please let me know down in the comments so that I can find a restaurant nearby so I can order some of the food, and I want to try it myself.
Is this typically spicy food or not?
Very spicy.
Oh, is it?
Greg does a toast, and oh my gosh, he's so sweet. He's so thoughtful. Like, I know I keep saying this over and over, but you can just tell he really cares about her. He loves her so much. He thinks about what she would want, what she would care about, what would make her happy, what would make her feel welcome and special. I mean, God, I'm just so impressed. That's just so much more than what I expected. Also, that's way more than a lot of the guys that we see on the show. So Greg is doing a fantastic job.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Now he has one last surprise.
Greg, what's going on? What's happening?
He hired African musicians. They come out, they start performing, they're singing, they're dancing, they're playing the drums. It was awesome. And Joan was enjoying it. She was so appreciative. She was dancing her little booty off. She was loving it. I mean, everybody looked like they were having a blast.
Baby.
It is finally the morning of the wedding. Woo! Joan goes to the salon so that she can start getting ready, and then Greg notices that he made a huge mistake. He realized that on the wedding invitations, he told everybody to arrive by 6:30. But then he also realized that the ceremony starts at 6:30, so he can't have the ceremony start at the same time the guests are arriving.
You seem upset.
I am.
He should have told the guests to arrive at 5:36. Like, actually, probably 6 o'clock. But he told everyone to arrive at 6:30. Now he doesn't know what to do. He really doesn't want to ruin Joan's special day. He doesn't want to disappoint her. And now he's thinking if they push the ceremony to 7 o'clock, then the venue is going to charge him an extra fee, and that's going to be expensive. He's just so stressed out, and he's so worried.
I'm just so
But guess who comes to his rescue? Lucille! Don't you worry, Gregory, my baby boy. Mama's gonna take care of all of this. Let me call Kelly right now. So she starts making phone calls and sending a few text messages. Moving on to Sean and Alliya. Sean and Alliya wake up in bed with Maxwell, my favorite cast member of this entire season. He is just so freaking cute. Alliya has a surprise for him. She's signing the prenup. And now they can proceed with the wedding.
Finally.
Sean does his mom's hair while Jackie arrives at the house to pick up Alliya so that they can go get ready separately. By the way, Sean's mom mentioned how at every occasion that they attend or they have, Sean ends up doing everybody's hair. He just becomes the designated hair person because he is a professional hairstylist. And I was thinking that must be kind of like annoying to have to basically work all the time when you're not really at work. You know what I mean? But it's really nice of him to do that for everyone. Alliya starts getting ready at 1:30 p.m. The wedding is supposed to start at 5 p.m. Remember this. This is very important. It starts at 5 p.m. Despite Alliya taking hours to get ready, she's going to have enough time. It's 1:30. She has until, let's say, 4:30. 3 hours is enough, right? All of a sudden, we hear Sean's mom yelling, and we find out that she actually fell in the kitchen and she's in a lot of pain. But she doesn't want to go to the hospital. She wants to wait it out because she feels like the wedding's in 3 hours and she'll feel better by then. Now it's 3 p.m. and it kind of looks like Alliya just got out of the shower because she hasn't even started doing her hair and makeup. According to her, she needs at least 2 hours.
2 hours? We have?
No, you don't have.
But it's 3:30 now, and the wedding starts at 5 o'clock, so she needs to be ready in 1 hour. So she's going to have to really rush and get it moving. Well, fast forward to 5 o'clock. Everyone but Alliya is at the wedding venue. And thankfully, Sean's mom made it. She seems to be doing a lot better, but the bride isn't here. Tick tock, it's 5:30 now, and still no bride. Tick tock, it's 6 o'clock now, still no bride. The wedding was supposed to start at 5 o'clock. Like the ceremony was supposed to start at 5 o'clock, then dinner was supposed to be served at 6 o'clock. But now it's 6:15 and there's no bride. Everybody's waiting. They're still in their seats. There's 2 dogs. The weather is super, super hot. It's 104 degrees. And there's no bride. People are thirsty, they're hot, they're hungry. Where the fork is the bride? Alliya, girl, I love you, but this is absolutely unacceptable. It is ridiculous. I would be so pissed.
Oh my God. We have no idea what's going on.
Sean is understandably getting more and more agitated. He's like, where the hell is she? Like, I can't believe she's making us wait this long. Even Sean's mom is like, she was 2 hours late to the engagement party and it seems like she's going to be 2 hours late now. It's just like, it's just so rude and so inconsiderate. Also, I forgot to mention that we got a sneak peek of her wedding dress. Like, she walked out in her hair, makeup, and her wedding dress. And I'm like, where's the rest of it? That can't be the full dress, right? Like there has to be something under she's wearing. Like if she wants to make it seem like there's nothing under, like it's just a mesh white dress, then she could wear a nude slip dress. Some people wear white slip dresses with like a see-through dress, but there was nothing. She wore nothing. She just had a thong and a completely see-through dress. Like, girl, where's the rest of your dress? Like you can't just walk out in a see-through dress with just a thong. I was so confused. I really hope next week when we see her walking down the aisle, I'm going to assume that she walks down the aisle. I hope that there's more to the dress. Let's move on to Sarper and Shekinah. So Sarper's still confused as to why Shekinah would even want to do a prenup. He's super offended. This is not normal in Turkey. These things just don't happen. And he's quite frankly embarrassed. How is he going to explain a prenup to his family? They're not going to understand. And then she tells him, well, we're in America now and Americans do prenups, so tough luck.
You're not in Turkey anymore, babe. Now you're in the US.
Sarper's main concern, which is pretty much every non-American's concern, is why get married thinking that you're going to separate? So their conversation goes around in circles. They're not getting to a resolution. So she's like, all right, we're not getting anywhere, so I'm going to hop in the shower. So while she goes in the shower, he calls his family and talks to them about the prenup. And he also tells them that he gave her a weight requirement and they kind of laugh it off and they're like, oh my God, yeah, good.
Kilo başına $1000 ceza kesiyorum.
And I was like, what? Sarper talks about how he was married once before when he was 31 years old and his ex-wife was an absolute angel. But as soon as they got married, she changed. She became the devil. She was controlling, she was possessive, and she made his life miserable. And he doesn't want to make that same mistake again. Well, Sarper, this is exactly why you'd get a prenup, okay? Just in case Shekinah changes into a psychopath as soon as you get married, okay? If something like that happens again, then you are protected. You don't lose anything. You protect your assets and you leave with everything that you came with. So do you understand why a prenup would be beneficial to you both now? Like, I know that this is not normal in other cultures and countries, and I totally get that. It's a tough concept, especially if it's like really taboo and seen as a bad thing. Then I understand. It's hard to kind of wrap your head around another culture's norm. But yeah, hopefully they'll figure it out. But anyway, it's the next morning and Sarper's gone. Shekinah can't find him anywhere in her apartment, and she can't get a hold of him. She was texting him, calling him, he's not answering. And she's like, where the fork is Sarper? And apparently they got into an argument that morning because he was trying to move the coffee maker and then he dropped it by accident and got coffee grinds everywhere. And then that pissed him off. So he yelled at Shekinah and she was like, oh, hell no, don't yell at me. The fuck did I do? And then he got all pissy and then he left to go get some air. Well, he never came back. So she starts packing and then she remembers she put an air tag on his keychain.
I have an air tag on his keychain.
Except for the fact that he has no idea that this is an actual tracker. When she put the keychain on his keys, he thought that it was an accessory. And the reason why she put an air tag on him was because he refuses to share his location with her from his phone.
It feels like they're up to no good and they're being secretive.
And I think that's weird. Like, why are you refusing to share your location? I feel like it's not that big of a deal. I feel like it's normal for couples to share location. Not because it's like weird and like possessive and stalky. It's for safety reasons, in my opinion. Also, like the convenience. Like my family and I share, we all have our locations on. And like if my sister is supposed to come home and she's not home and I can't get a hold of her, I just check her location and I'm like, oh, she's at the gym. So like I leave her alone. Like I know what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, isn't that normal? I don't know. Anyway, she opens up her phone and then she locates his AirTag at a coffee shop. But wait a damn second. How would Sarper not know that she put an AirTag on his keychain? Because it's not some teeny tiny discreet sticker that she stuck on. It's a big round thing. I don't know. Maybe he's never seen one in his life. He doesn't know what it is. I don't know what she told him it was. Maybe she got like a little cute cover. Like she covered it with something. Anyway, Shekinah goes to the coffee shop and she finds him sitting with his eyes wide and he looks like he saw a ghost. And she's like, why do you look like that? What's wrong? And he's like,
I'm scared, Shekinah.
and she's like, do you not want to get married anymore? And he's like,
I don't know.
I guess he's getting cold feet. By the way, her sunglasses are so cute. Where are they from? I need to know. Moving on to Juan and Jessica. Their wedding is in 2 days. They arrive to their Airbnb in Colorado and Juan's aunt, uncle, and cousins arrive and he's so happy to see them and have them there. I noticed that Jessica doesn't know a lick of Spanish. She said, welcome to the house, casa. It's a big house. Grande casa. Yeah.
Welcome to the house. It's a beautiful house.
Are you freaking kidding me? That was so bad. She didn't even know how to say bienvenido. Jessica, you should have learned a few phrases at least. The next morning, it's snowing. And that just reminded me of when they went to the wedding venue and that lady said that even if it's snowing, they're going to have the wedding outside and not to worry because they're going to give all their guests clear umbrellas. Yeah. His friend Leonardo arrives and Juan and Leo go out to get breakfast for the whole family. And Juan expresses his concerns that his son David is going to grow up without not knowing any Spanish, not knowing how to speak it, understand it, write it. And that's a problem because his entire side of the family only speaks Spanish, and it makes him so sad to think that he won't be able to communicate with one entire side of the family. So Leo tells him that he and his wife made his kids speak Spanish at home and English at school, and that's how his kids became bilingual. But the problem with Juan, like he can't do that because Jessica doesn't speak Spanish. Later that evening, Juan's nephew and Jessica's boys are playing together in the basement, and he loved seeing that. He was like, oh my God, it's so nice to see them play together. He has cousins, but it's so sad that they can't communicate. They speak 2 different languages. So he brings this up to Jessica and she gets so defensive. Well, I never took a Spanish class. Okay, so you can start now. Well, I got so much better. I used to only know how to count to 10, but now I can count to 20. Okay, but I really think you should start learning Spanish. It's part of my culture, my son's culture. Haven't you noticed my cousin's husband who can speak Spanish very well? Okay, yeah, but didn't he live in Colombia? Like he studied abroad? So, Jessica, it doesn't matter how he learned it. The point is he learned it. But he's been speaking Spanish for like 10 years. Well, you had 4, so what were you doing for 4 years? I was like, mic drop. Damn.
I only heard excuses, and then I'm trying to say something.
According to Jessica, she doesn't feel like it's fair that he's putting this on her all of a sudden. After all, she's been spending the last couple of years raising her boys, David, a newborn, and working a full-time job and taking care of the home, blah, 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 blah. She hasn't had time to learn Spanish, and I get that. I think that's a valid answer. But instead of being so defensive and being like, but da-da-da-da, oh my God, da-da-da-da, couldn't she be like, oh, I didn't realize that this was so important to you. Yeah, I'll make a concerted effort to learn Spanish. Done. But instead, she was so defensive and she kept interrupting him, which drove me crazy. I was like, shut up, Jessica. Shut up, let the man speak. Let's move on to Mina and Mark. There's 2 days left until their wedding, and Mina is anxiously waiting to hear back about Clayton's passport situation. After breakfast, Mark takes Mina to their wedding venue, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful place in front of the water. She's super happy. Then the wedding coordinator needs a head count. She's like, do you have your head count? Like how many people are coming? And Mina's like, oh, but you know, I'm still waiting for my son and the passport. And she goes on and on about the story. And like the wedding coordinator doesn't care. She just wants a head count. she just wants a number. So they go inside, they review the charges and the fees and what everything is going to cost, but I wish we knew what the total was. I would have loved to know how much a wedding at that type of a venue would cost, but we didn't get to see the total. Mina suddenly gets a phone call, so she rushes outside to pick it up, and she's like, oh my God, what happened to Clayton? Sadly, Clayton will not be able to go to the United States in time for her wedding. To make matters worse, whoever's on the phone tells Mina that he's already packed up. He packed his suitcases, he's packed, he thinks he's leaving, but they have to tell him now that he can't go. Oh, that's awful. I can't even imagine the heartbreak, the disappointment that Clayton is going to feel. Oh, why'd you make him pack up his bags? I felt so bad. And Mina was so sad. She couldn't stop crying. She eventually walks back to the office to let Mark know that Clayton is not coming. He can't come, and she doesn't even know if she wants to go through with the wedding anymore. I mean, come on. The wedding's tomorrow. Like, you gotta get married.
No, it's not possible for me.
Last, we have the thropple. They're in Guadalajara to meet Ani's family. Before they go to Ani's family's house, Amani wants to go over what's going to happen. She asks her how she's going to introduce them to her family.
I'm nervous, baby.
And Ani is stressed. She's like, oh my gosh, my aunt, she's very religious. She's so traditional, so it's going to be really hard. Just give me time. And Amani's like, you need more time? Well, you better tell her today.
I'm nervous.
They finally arrive to the aunt's house. When the aunt is interviewed, and this must have been before they had that conversation.
Hi, really nice to meet you.
The aunt definitely thinks that Matt is Ani's boyfriend and that Amani is just a friend. Because she literally says, I'm so excited to meet Ani's boyfriend, and I heard that her friend is here as well. Oh God. So they finally sit down and Ani is ready to tell them. So it's her aunt, her brother, and her sister-in-law. Ani starts explaining the whole throuple situation. And I just found it so funny that right above them is Jesus on the cross.
Ella es tu amiga.
Ella es mi novia también, tía.
So she's like, yeah, so this is not my friend. She's actually my girlfriend. And they're like, this man is also my boyfriend. And they're like, and then she goes on to say they are married. And they're like, they're just so confused. And then she goes, I'm in a relationship with them, both of them. And they're like, they're so shocked. They're confused. They're not understanding. They're like, oh, what is going on right now? The aunt looks like she's about to cry. She's like, no, you can't. This isn't right. Also, they're married. How are you? What? None of this makes sense. And Ani's like, yes, I know it's hard for you to understand, but these people are the people that I want to be with. I love them and they love me. And the family's like, okay. And then her brother breaks the awkward silence by saying that ultimately he supports her. But the aunt has a much harder time. But ultimately, she does give them her blessing.
Tu mirada, que también la quieres mucho.
She says she can tell how much they love each other and they care for her. And ultimately, she just wants Ani to be happy. She had a really rough childhood and she struggled a lot in her upbringing. And she just wants her to be loved and to be happy and to be cared for. So yes, you have my blessing.
Se podría ir a la boda.
Sí lo haría.
So everybody hugs and they're tearful and they're happy. Wow, I definitely did not think that things were going to end that way, but I'm happy for them. I really am. I hope that they live happily ever after off our TV screens. Okay, please don't come back for another season. Okay, thanks. Bye. And that's it for the recap. I think, and I really, really hope that next week is the finale. Okay, it better be. It better be, please. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in and let me know all your thoughts in the comments and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye.
It's a recap. It's a recap. It's a